Welcome to Dash Explore. I'm Sarah, and today I'm going to be veering just a little bit from our typical family travel content and sharing something that is a little bit more personal, but also something that I think is going to be super relatable to a lot of you out there who are moms or parents or anybody who is a caregiver to small children in this crazy season of life and struggling to find some time to do something for yourself. So my whole story has to do with running, and I know that might have lost a few of you right there, but I promise that if you stick with me for a minute, I promise I will bring this whole thing back around. So for the past few months, I've been training to run the Richmond Half Marathon, which takes place every November. And I've been trying since 2015, yes, that's 9 years, to run this race. And every year I have failed for some reason or another, whether it's pregnancy, injury, travel, something has gotten in the way of me running this race. I have run several other half marathons in that time, but something about this particular race has eluded me for the last 9 years. But despite all of that adversity, I finally crossed the finish line a few weeks ago, and I just honestly could not be more proud of myself.
All right, finally time to run the Richmond Half. 1 mile, mile 2, mile 3, mile 4, mile 5, mile 6, mile 7, mile 8. Coming up to mile 9. Got to see Haley and Dee. Mile 10. Going through mile 11. I think I'm actually gonna do it. Mile 12. 1 mile to go. Oh my God, here we go.
Charlie, Julianne, Meredith, Mark, welcome to the finish line.
I did it.
Now, you may be asking me, Sarah, why are you sharing about this right now? And this is where I bring it all back around and make it a little bit more relatable. But it's that finding time to do something for yourself as a parent can almost feel impossible. Our kids always need something. They always need someone to look after them, to do something for them, and that can really get in the way of you taking a second or the time to just stop and do something for yourself. But I am here today to talk to you about why it is important to prioritize yourself and to make time to pursue your passions even in this crazy busy season of life. So like I said, I'm a runner, and that's something that I've been pretty passionate about pursuing for the last 10 or so years. Now, that hasn't come with its ups and downs. Obviously, I've had 2 kids. That's put a damper on my running, but it is something that I always go back to, and it's just a great form of exercise that I really enjoy. But the problem I'm running into now is that running takes a long time. It takes you out of the house. It requires a lot of strength. It requires a really strong pelvic floor, which if you've had a baby or 2, you know it's not quite the same as it used to be. So all of that combined together made it feel like it was nearly impossible for me to commit to at this phase of life. But there were a few things that I put in place this year so that I could prioritize myself and get back into shape and make this dream of running this silly half marathon a reality. So first of all, I reached out to my OBGYN and asked for a referral for pelvic floor physical therapy. Now, this was probably the hardest step that I took to prioritizing myself this year, because you know that if you have kids, it feels nearly impossible to make an appointment to go to the doctor, especially something like this that would require going regularly. And I mean, they don't have childcare at these doctor's offices, and they certainly don't want to come and sit with me for over an hour at a time. That was like the biggest mental hurdle for me for getting back started in this exercising journey. But I had done pelvic floor physical therapy after Haley was born, and I know that that made a huge difference for me in my postpartum recovery. So I definitely knew it was the step that I needed to take next, but it was a big mental hurdle to get myself committed to doing it. And although it was tough, and sometimes I had to rely on my mom to come over and watch the girls while I was at the doctor, or I even was actually lucky enough that they had some 7 or 7:30 a.m. appointments that I was able to get scheduled in on. So it did end up working out, but it was something where we had to kind of take it week by week to get it to fit into our schedule. So although it was a little chaotic, I'm really glad that I finally made the phone call and got that thing started, because it was a great way to start off the year and get me back into shape. And then my next step for prioritizing myself was to join the gym. So this was actually something that I had been planning to do right after Haley was born. I had been a gym member. We were going to switch gyms. It was a whole thing. But right when I was starting to feel more like myself and ready to get back into the gym, a global pandemic hit and everything closed down, and so I just didn't join the gym. And so in its place, I actually ended up becoming a Peloton digital member, which has been so great for me. It is super great for these early days with kids when you feel like you can't even leave your house, but to just be able to click the button on your phone and go and be able to do things at home, it really is a great option. But I knew that training for a half marathon was going to require a lot more commitment, and I really just needed childcare. So we went back, visited visited that same gym, got all the details for the costs and everything. And although it was a financial commitment, it is something that has just been so beneficial and positive for our family. So I have loved having access to treadmills whenever I want to, especially when the weather's bad. I have also really enjoyed just being able to show up at bar or Pilates or whatever class I want to take and not really having to think about it. And I mean, like I've already said, the biggest benefit of all was that this gym has childcare. So I'm able to just drop the girls off, and honestly, they have a blast. So they get to climb, they get to color, they've made friends, they eat their snacks there. Like they have a wonderful time at the gym. And so, you know, having them love it so much makes it even more enjoyable for me. And truly, they have been my biggest accountability partners on this journey, because they are asking me, Mom, are we going to the gym today? Are we going to the gym today? So they are getting me up, getting me out, and have been just huge helps in getting me back to shape. So again, this was another thing that was a little chaotic to kind of figure out, you know, is this still the right gym? Is this cost going to be something that works for our family? But overall, I think we have made a great choice, and I'm so glad that I did this and pelvic floor physical therapy to start off the year, and it has made the rest of the year of training significantly easier. And although I still have so much farther to go in my fitness journey, I have a long way to go to get back into the shape I was before kids, and it may never look exactly like that again, but I have at least, you know, I've pressed start. I've gotten myself to a place where I am feeling better and I'm feeling stronger, and I'm so excited to continue this exercise and fitness journey into 2025 and see where the next year of running takes me. And speaking of where my fitness journey can take me, I also want to talk about how much I love running while I travel, you know, since this is a travel account. But anyways, I started my training for this half marathon back in August, and since then we have been super fortunate to travel to a lot of places. And I didn't want to just stop my half marathon training because we weren't home, so I brought all my running stuff with me. And because of that, I was able to go for runs in the Outer Banks in North Carolina, in Palo Alto, California when we were out visiting Stanford, in Chincoteague, Virginia when we were there for a family vacation, and in London, England, you know, my first international run. And because I got to go on runs in these places, I got to see things that you wouldn't go to by car, that I wouldn't have just stumbled upon just walking through the city. So I just love that running can take me outside of my comfort zone. It can show me new places, and it's not something that I can only do when I'm home. I can take it on the road with me, and although it does take up a little bit of room in my suitcase, it's always worth it. So I understand that a lot of this is very specific to me, but I do also know that there are a lot of parents out there that also struggle with these same feelings of not wanting to prioritize yourself, feeling guilty when you want to pursue your passions. And I'm just hoping that by sharing my story and also some of the roadblocks that were in my way to getting me to start doing something that I want to do for myself, that maybe I will inspire you or give you that boost to take just a second, whether it's today or this week, to do something for yourself and maybe start pursuing those same passions that you had before kids and now incorporating it into your family life as well. We can still love our kids and make sure all of their needs are met while also taking some time to take care of ourselves and do something that we love. Now, I know I've specifically talked about how much I love running and exercise, and that's the thing that I've wanted to prioritize this year, but maybe for you it's crafting or cooking or maybe woodworking or I don't know, any number of things that you are passionate about and that you love. And I also want you to remember how important it is to share your passions with your kids and also include them when it's appropriate. Haley has watched Andrew and I for almost the last 5 years go for runs, lift weights, do exercise classes, and I can already see that we are starting to lay the groundwork for a healthy, strong lifestyle for her in the future. She already loves the idea of being strong. I mean, think Louisa from Encanto. She always wants to go on runs with us, which we are more than happy to let her do for an appropriate amount of time and at her pace. We're not trying to push her to do anything crazy, but if it's something that she wants to do, why not let her get some energy, get some exercise, and you know, come along and do something that we love too. And again, you know, maybe exercise isn't for you, but maybe it's something that's crafty and hands-on, and that's something that's so great for kids. Like, they're going to learn so many skills from whatever it is you're passionate about. Cooking and baking, I mean, that's great for math skills with measurements and capacity, but make sure that when you're starting to think about prioritizing yourself and taking some time to do things for you, that you're not just waking up early before the kids get up or doing things after they go to bed. Do some of this stuff while they are awake so they can see you in your element and doing the thing that you love the most. So the moral of the story in this whole video is that I hope that you realize how important you are and how important taking time for yourself is, and that I hope that you are going to go out there and you're going to do something for yourself today, or maybe tomorrow if it's too late. I don't know. So thank you so much for watching today's video. We will be back with our regularly scheduled travel content next week, but I hope that you were maybe inspired to do something for yourself. And if you were, if you could go ahead and like this video, we would appreciate it so much. And if you want to follow along for more of our family and travel content, if you want to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you can get notified when we post new videos. We also have an Instagram account, so you can head over to Instagram and follow us at _explore, and we hope that we will see you in the next one.